Good morning, everybody. Buenos dias. Hola. How's everyone doing? I hope you are well. It is 9 a.m. here in Tokyo, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone when you get on. Just give you a couple of minutes to join here from wherever you are. I'm hoping especially lots of people from South America will be watching today, and especially, of course, if anyone is calling in from Argentina. I'm very happy to say hello to you. Hi, everybody. Good to see you here. Just waving to people now as you come in. Welcome to December 2020. We made it. This has been a truly crazy year, but we've made it this far and we've got one more month to go. Hi, Diego. How are you doing? Hola, buenas noches. Debería hacerlo en español hoy. Es posible que lo tendremos que hacer en español. Hola, everyone. Hi, Maria. How are you doing? This has been a difficult week for me. And I wanted to just share that because I felt like I didn't really have a space to talk about it. And I worry that a lot of other people also didn't have a chance to talk about it. So I want to do that. I'm thinking about when to release Never Coming Down with Kino. I love this song. I sent it to her the other day, as you saw live. She's very happy with it. We're doing the artwork now. And the idea of Never Coming Down as a title, it feels kind of poignant for me because of what happened with Diego Maradona when he died last week. I just wanted to basically talk about it to someone because I've been profoundly moved personally by his death. It's made me realize how deeply I valued what he gave to me just as a footballer. And it's the kind of thing you unfortunately don't really appreciate until that person's actually gone. And I'm still processing it now. It's been a week. I've kind of not been able to properly return to work as I try and just go through it on my own. It's kind of stayed in my mind. And I'm kind of overflowing with gratitude for him and what he made the world of football feel like for me. His very name conjures images that no other name in sport does for me. Maradona, it's just an extraordinary name. It's just iconic. I'm just full of emotion and gratitude and confusion, to be honest. And I'm trying to understand a little bit about my feelings. I feel a bit choked. It's like I can feel the water rushing in, you know? And it's why I wanted to talk about it with you a little, because I thought maybe there are other people out there who are, thinking the same thing. We've lost some pretty significant people this year in the entertainment business, in the sports world. We've suffered a lot through COVID-19. It's been a very trying year. And so I just wanted to connect and let you know how I feel, and maybe you feel the same, and we can hopefully walk through it a little bit. If you have any questions anytime, feel free. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how much football and Maradona meant to me. And means to me. My two great loves in life, for sure, are music and football. They came to me basically at the same time in my life, almost the exact same time, and I've never looked back since. They are my two loves. If I had to choose one, it would probably be football. I'd say the first experience I had of something I found incredibly joyous was football. I've watched the English Football Premier League, highlights every Saturday. There's a programme in England for the football of the weekend. I've watched that every single weekend of my whole life. I have not missed an episode. The very first thing I do every morning is check my phone for the football scores and the results and the news every single day. It's now on my phone, it was on my computer, it was on the newspapers. Every morning, that's what I do before I wake up. I look at it in bed. I've done that almost every day of my whole life. It's an incredible passion for me. I find the game beautiful, passionate, exciting. It's emotional. And then when it comes to the World Cup, the Football World Cup, that glittering gold trophy, there's just something about it. It's like magic for me. There's something intoxicating about that cup and that experience. It's like nothing else on earth for me. You can see it in the faces of footballers, professional footballers, wealthy footballers, successful footballers. They are what they are at their clubs, but when they go to the World Cup, they are reduced to something different. They are transformed. It's like an asphyxiation. It's incredible. When they score a goal in the World Cup, you can see their faces light up. Oh my God, I've just scored in the World Cup. That's how they feel. Sorry, I haven't waved to a few people here. I need to just wave to a few more people here. Thanks so much for joining. The World Cup is just completely elevated, and the absolute epitome of that sensation for me comes from Diego Maradona. All the scenes you'll have seen on TV recently, if you've been following, they're all coming probably from 1986, from the World Cup that was held in Mexico. And he just did that World Cup in an absolutely iconic way. We can look back at former era stars like Muhammad Ali, Pele, Babe Ruth, Any other, incredibly talented sports personality who appeared on our TVs in black and white, and you can definitely appreciate it. They're all singly sensational sports people, but we can look back on modern day matches now, 30 different camera angles and slow-mo repeats in super high res and, in-depth analysis from commentators, all that stuff now. Goals go in, players kind of don't show the excitement, they're kind of used to it now, they're kind of calm. But there's something about 1986, that World Cup. It was the grainy, pixelated TV footage. They had no control. It felt like they were unbridled. It was impossibly hot Mexico City, the Azteca Stadium, 115,000 sweltering hot fans. The sepia kind of Technicolor TV footage, brand new black, color TV screens. That kind of phone call lo-fi commentary that was in that World Cup. When you see the highlights and the replays on YouTube or on TV, you can feel it's all saturated, and the levels of football quality and camera angles, it's nearly there. It's not hyper professional yet. They're on the cusp of it, and it's amazing. It's like before the dawn of football becoming extremely professional. Recovery times after matches, and how well did you sleep, what pillow did you use, all these technical details. That's now. That didn't exist in 1986, and Diego Maradona was the out-and-out star of that kind of breakout moment for football, in my opinion. He had that big bang moment for football right at the same time as football did. And he kind of actually catapulted the catapult itself. He made the experience completely his own. It was because of him. And his talent was just way beyond anyone else. The way he would glide past people like they weren't even there. I would try and do that in the football park in my school, and it's just incredible how he did it. But that sort of hazy memory of it all, the way it has been documented on film, those summers, they kind of seemed hotter and the colours were like more sepia, kind of saturated badly, and just so super nostalgic. It just made it instantly classic. And it kind of makes me overcome to think about that. I'm just overwhelmed with the gratitude for that experience. So I cannot separate my own love for football from that World Cup and therefore from Maradona. He was light years ahead of any other player. You may have seen, he was amazing. I know he was. You may have seen me do kick-ups on Instagram and on Facebook. I like to just do the kick-ups in the park. I can do, 40 seconds, maybe, 50, 60 times. That's my limit. I can't do any more than that. Maradona, though, he could just go on forever doing it. It's extraordinary watching him. People would watch him warm up before games. The professionals, the footballers, whatever team that he was playing for, they would all come and watch him just doing the warm-ups because he was just so amazing at juggling that ball. The ability that he had to control it. It's like he had two hands for feet. Just extraordinary. He was just mesmerizing. And in 1986, in the quarterfinals, he played my team. He played England, and you know by now he scored the two most famous goals in football history. The first one being a legal hand of God, and the second one being maybe the most amazing the most amazing goal scored by an individual from the halfway line until the moment he scored. It was unreal. All footballers at the time will tell you that's the greatest goal scored because of the situation, the conditions of the pitch, the way the whole thing was played out. His ability to do that, for most people of that era, they say it was just absolutely unparalleled. And you'd be hard pressed to find goals that are better than that. It was extraordinary. But the way he went from the bad, the ultra bad, the handball that no one caught because there was no VAR, that iconic moment, 4 minutes later scoring the best goal ever, bad to good, all in one 4-minute period of time. That's why that World Cup, and that's why Argentina, and that's why Maradona is so sort of celebrated and so iconic. It is impossible to repeat that. We have VAR now. That will never happen again, that kind of injustice and that kind of happiness and joy that Argentina felt as a result against the backdrop of war. It's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, probably for the players when they're on the pitch, but it must have had some kind of a bearing on the totality of what that experience was. Just amazing. You can dream of scoring a goal like that, and all footballers do. I'm sure I did. He did it. He scored the most amazing goal in history. Amazing. I don't think anyone's ever come close to doing something like that. There's no other moment in sport so iconic for me. You know, the picture of Muhammad Ali standing over his opponent, that's an iconic moment, but I don't remember footage of that fight. I don't recall it in an instant. Babe Ruth, I don't recall any particular moments in an instant of Babe Ruth. Maradona, it's iconic, and it's impossible to separate love of football, if you have it, from Maradona. And I think even if you don't have love for football, and this is the point I'm trying to get to, it can be any sport, or it can be any form of entertainment, music, movies, anything. It can be psychology, it could be dentistry, being a doctor, books. The good and bad that exists in all people, but especially in iconic, genius people. That's the fascinating thing. These supremely gifted people in history, they often seem to be touched by kind of madness at the same time as their genius. They wrestle with their inner demons. If you think about Mozart or Beethoven or Picasso, they're all flawed geniuses. It's a cliche to say it, but it's as if they need to find balance in their lives. They have this extraordinary ability, this sensational thing that they can do that no one else can do to that level. And then they need to sort of compensate for it somehow. This abundance of genius in this one man or this one woman. And they go the other way with destructive tendencies. So in Maradona's case, he was literally talked about like a god. I'm happy to talk about him like a god. But there's something to be said about channeling that sort of otherworldly power, gift from somewhere way up there. He was somehow given so much more than anyone else. And being touched so much by God, I guess there's an inability to fully control that. I mean, it's too much. How could you literally? You're channeling God. How are you supposed to control that, right? Hi, everybody. Just saying hello here in real time. So, I can forgive him for that. Obviously, I can. And the other reason I can think that I can forgive him is because he was the complete underdog. He was born and raised in one of the poorest backgrounds in the world on earth. And he was 15 when he said to his dad, "Stop working, let me provide. I'll play football and I'll provide for my family." That's just amazing, incredible. He was short, he was stocky, he was tiny. All the cards were stacked against this kid, this guy, becoming successful in any way. But he was simply destined to win the World Cup for his country. And when I look at Maradona, especially the 1986 footage, it's amazing. He just looks so happy. He just looks consumed with happiness and joy. He's ecstatic for winning the World Cup. His reason for his entire life, his whole country, all they seem to want is to win the World Cup in football. Every time he scored a goal, he's totally delirious. And, one of his teammates would catch him in their arms because he was so small. He would just jump up and they'd catch him. That's how he would celebrate. Everything about him just felt small, and his smile shone like a kid and his eyes sparkled like a little kid. And when he won the World Cup and he kissed it, that's just the most iconic moment for me in all of World Cup history, the way he holds the cup. And after he's received it, he's shaking hands with all the people, the dignitaries. He holds it like this. He kind of holds it like this while he's saying thank you. And it's like a little kid holding a little kid. I think it's beautiful. And the really iconic moment afterwards where he's on the pitch, he's being held aloft by all his fans and all his teammates, and he's holding the cup on the turf. Again, he's kind of holding it like this. He doesn't want to fall over. He's cradling it. Oh my goodness me. I just think I have never seen anything like that, ever. That is ultra famous footage for me, and he just looks like the happiest kid on earth. I think that might be the real key to Maradona. I think he was always a kid. He never fully had a moment to grow up. He was pro at 15 years old. If I think about myself at 15, I was in Liverpool. I was nowhere near a pro at 15. He was pro at 15. He was an absolute sensation at 16. The world knew he was at 16 years old. And he couldn't go anywhere in the world for the rest of his life after that without being treated like a deity, like a god, especially in Argentina. So, no childhood, no learning how to be a child, how to do that, how to grow up. So, from 16 years old until he died, he was essentially a hero, a genius, a messiah. He was certainly channeling something from up there, And I don't know, just the way he held the cup and that whole grainy ticker tape storm, the sepia coloured footage, it's just amazingly endearing to me. And you're happy that he won it. I really want Messi to win the World Cup, because if you separate everything as an extraordinary player in terms of stats and consistency, the totality of everything for me, Lionel Messi is the greatest footballer for me. But in terms of iconic, extraordinary, that whole, you can't quite put it into words, love is not impossible to really define. That's Diego Maradona, without a shadow of a doubt, for me. It's funny when you look at, there's lots of stories about guitarists who are really shy. They're not, gregarious people. They're quite shy. You put a guitar on them though, and put them on stage, and they become Red Hot Chili Peppers. They come off stage, take the guitar off, they're quiet, they're meek, they're in the corner. It's amazing how something that you have a gift in can just turn you into someone else and make you so happy. That's Diego Maradona. There was nowhere else he was happier than on a football pitch and with a ball at his feet. It was just how he was supposed to be. I feel like I can understand that, if you'll allow me. Without music or football or the purity of love in that way, I don't know how I would cope with the pressure of, real life. I don't know how anyone of us would. I think it's why we, as a society or as a world, put such a premium on entertainment and escapism. It's why these people make so much money. We're so excited to see them. It's so important for us to experience what they're producing. And that escapism is really important. I feel like I understand how that is for Maradona. I was always really happy with the ball at my feet. I'm always happy when there's a piano in front of me, when I'm on stage doing something. Funny, yesterday was 6 years ago today, I was on stage with Taylor Swift in Tokyo. We did 2 songs, and I was the acoustic guitar. That was 6 years ago, almost to the day today. Amazing experience for me. You're out of body. You're doing what you were supposed to do with your life, what you were born to do, and you're whole. You're complete. That purity of love, that fight for a singular aim that Maradona had. I aspire to that. Oof. There's been some, big deaths in my favorite entertainment circles of the last few years. I know we've all gone through them together. Avicii, I was very sad when he died. It was a big one, I suppose, for me. Malcolm Young from AC/DC, by far my favorite guitarist in history. I loved him. AC/DC is my favorite band, for sure, forever. Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, my second favorite band, forever. There's a story that I grew up with called Watership Down. The writer died a few years ago. Skrillex loves him, has a tattoo on his arm of one of the rabbits from Watership Down. That was a big one for me. And then this year alone, we've had Kobe Bryant, we've had Chadwick Boseman, the guy who was inside Darth Vader, the original one, the actual person inside, not the voice. He passed away a couple of days ago. And all of these bits of information, they lit up my Facebook. Oops, my light's just turned off. Someone was happy to talk about that on Facebook. And I would see that on my timeline. And it was very nice. Everyone felt connected in the same way. Everyone was very sad at the same time, or very happy at the same time. We had this year with Sex Education on Netflix, Umbrella Academy. What else did we have that was amazing this year? There's been some amazing moments. David Attenborough documentary. And all of that I talked about on Facebook, and all my friends did too. That was really nice. It was very endearing. For some reason, I'm actually quite surprised that my Facebook had a lack of, blue and white stripes on Facebook after Maradona's death. There really wasn't many people talking about it. I was quite surprised by that, I must say. I was a little bit sad, because it meant that I didn't have a place to go to talk and share with people something that was extremely important to me. It was all over the news, and it was all over Twitter, where people go crazy. They're just not my forums, though, they're not my place where I go to kind of be happy. They're places I go to sort of worry or complain. Facebook and Instagram are places that I like to go to sort of enjoy myself and be connected and be, the way we're talking now is really important for me. Riverdale, exactly. I didn't have that, and I was actually worried for people. it's the end of this year. It's coronavirus, terrible experience. Are people suffering a little bit in silence all of a sudden? And I might be completely wrong about this, but I really did feel it for myself, and I didn't have a place to talk to anyone about it who understood. I spoke to someone recently, one person recently about it, who has no particular interest in football. So she could, relate from what it means from like a love point of view, like how much it means to you personally, but not specifically about Maradona or about football. So she totally understood, but not the depth of it in the same way that I understand the depth of it, if you see what I mean. She has it in different places. I wanted to talk to people who had the same thing regarding Maradona or regarding football. If you look at all footballers, every single one of them has posted about Diego Maradona, posted pictures with him. He was the icon of all of the sport. So I've seen all those. I just haven't seen my friends talk about it, which I found just a little bit weird. Just made me wonder if people are suffering in silence. So if you are, you can talk now with me, definitely, because I'm very happy to hear and share. I don't want you being home in the pandemic alone, going through this. And it's taken me until like now. I haven't said all I've said to anyone until right now, and now I've kind of got through it. For me, I write a song to get through what I'm experiencing, or to enjoy what I'm experiencing even more. And I'm sure that my next tracks will be kind of about Maradona, or about what Maradona gave me, or about the experience. I have an idea to call a song "I Dream in Football." I googled it yesterday. I can't find anything anywhere where someone has written a song or anything, any title saying "I dream in football." I think that might be my next little thing to do. And it doesn't mean it's not specific to football. It means I'm so in love with something, So I just wanted to reach out, basically, Before we do any questions, if anyone has any, thank you, Hina-san. I just want to share one more thing, and this is the absolute... Thank you, Natalie, for joining. I was literally just talking about you. I hope you heard that. I was literally referencing you just now. There's one more thing I wanted to say, which is the reason actually I chose to do this, if it's not Natalie. I just watched a weekly football show that I always watch in the UK. Every week, Gary Lineker hosts it. He was in the 1986 World Cup with Maradona. Maradona scored against him. And he teed up the commentator from that match to just give a quick obituary to Maradona at the end of the TV show. Just very small, it's about 2 minutes long. But it was super, super moving for me, especially the last line. So Maradona's holding the cup, he's lifting it aloft, he's just won. It's that sepia, grainy, technicolor footage, that kind of vintage style. And the narrator says, I'm just going to read it so I make sure I have it right. "No more could it be said that one man doesn't make a team. With the World Cup won, the high point of what became an increasingly checkered life was reached. But his country loved him to the end." What a line. His country loved him to the end. I cannot forget that line. The second I heard that, that was the end of the day for me. Imagine being described like that. Imagine your country, your whole country, loving you to that degree. I can't imagine it. The delivery of the word "loved," the way that commentator said it, might be one of the best things I've ever heard. I'm welling up thinking about it. It's amazing to me. And there was another quote, one of the famous, the Manchester City manager, Pep Guardiola, said that he was in Argentina a few years ago and he was seeing one of the murals on the wall, and it said, "Diego, it doesn't matter what you did with your life, it matters what you did for our life." That's just incredible for me. My reason for writing songs, like I said, is to process what I'm going through, and I had to just talk about it a little bit, get it out of me. So I'm grateful for you to listen to this. And if you guys have any questions, especially anyone who's gone through something or lost someone this year in that way, Chadwick Boseman, Kobe Bryant, whoever it is, I'm happy to talk about it. I always love it when I love it when we all share the same moment of something sad or joyous. I remember when Princess Diana died. I remember how that felt. This is pre-Twitter and pre-connection with internet. And well, it wasn't pre it was during it, but it hadn't really developed yet. And I went down there. I went down to, I don't know why, I just sort of lifted myself up. I got on a train, didn't know how to take the train, took the train and went down there to London to just be there in front of Buckingham Palace with all the people. And I remember right next to me this side were two punk rockers, spiky haired punk rockers. "Do you want a sandwich?" they said to me. "Cool, thank you." Right next to me this side, an old lady, 70, 80-year-old lady. And we were there all night, freezing cold, just there, just waiting for the next morning to be there when Lady Diana went by. And that connection for me, that being together in one moment and all feeling like we need to go in one direction, this direction, I really appreciate those moments so much. And entertainment always gives me that. Sports, music, books, they always give me that. So I wanted to make sure that people had that if they wanted it going through this Maradona experience. He said recently, or I heard him say recently, I was a terrible drug addict, cocaine, ruined, 20 years of my life. And he said, he looked at the camera and he said, imagine what I could have done without all that stuff. Another 20 years. That's just amazing to me. I actually just this morning, I read that, I watched his team in Argentina, Boca Juniors. They played a game. Obviously it's COVID-19, so there's no supporters in the stands, except one. His daughter. She's the only one allowed to go to the match. And she went 2.5 days after her dad had died. And, they won 2-0. So when they scored a goal, they went up he had a box in the stadium. They went up and did, a thing in front of her stand. And she's just looking down, crying. And, it's not about soccer. It's not about that today. It's more about just people you love and things you love. And you lose them suddenly, and then you just realize how much it meant. I'm not Argentinian, by rights I should hate Maradona because of what he did to us in the World Cup. And they did it again a few years ago in 2002. We're knocked out again. No, it wasn't that year. Sorry, it was. Sorry, that's a different game. Sorry, it doesn't matter. Different time. Anyway, we have experience playing Argentina, and it's one of the iconic games for English people to get into. But it's just more about, what you love, what you connect to, and then you lose it suddenly. And I know how much Maradona gave to the sport I love, and certainly how much he gave to his country. He's often said, all I want is for Argentina to have food, for people to have food, for my people to be happy and to have food. I think that's amazing to be able to reduce, a country, humanity's problem to that. Food, happiness, boom. I love it when, all experiences like that just come together simply, succinctly, and we can all agree with it. I love that. So I just had a desire to exhale, get it out of me. So I'm glad that, someone could see that, and I'm glad that I could have got it out. So that's done. Thank you. I understand you very well. Actually, I don't know what happened. Yes, but I miss Tommy. Exactly. So there's an artist in Japan that I used to work with called Tommy Heavenly, and Hinata Konan here. She's a really, really big fan. I've known her for, 10 years maybe. And, I think she knew me through playing for Tommy Heavenly and for her former band, The Brilliant Green. And I've done lots of lyrics and top lines for Tommy. And I've played in lots of music videos, and we've done some shows together. I played Budokan, which is one of the big iconic stadiums in Japan. We played that together. And suddenly, she's just kind of gone. She's just not there anymore. I don't really know she's doing her thing, whatever's going on. It's her time. But I know that the music industry has completely changed. So everything is in flux and everything is up in the air. So I don't know, what's going on there. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you have someone that you love so much, you kind of define yourself by in many ways. You stand by. You think they can do no wrong. They're invincible. And then they succumb to drugs, or they die, or whatever it is. It is a shock, isn't it? It's hard. You need answers, and you can't find them. And I think these days, where we go to find them often just becomes Facebook, Instagram, very painful places to try and find catharsis. But I have in the past, this year, like I said, when I talked about Umbrella Academy and found all of you other guys saying, yeah, me too, I love it, I'm watching it now, it's amazing. And it really was, and it's just very endearing to be able to talk at the same time. I'd love to know who else at the same time right around the world is also liking that experience as much as me. And so for something like Maradona, or when AC/DC's guitarist died, or when Linkin Park's singer died, moments like that for me that are more than just, oh, that's a shame. It takes me a half day or a day, or in this case a week, to really process. You know, it's a guy I've never met, don't know, but had such a profound impact. It takes time. So yeah. You have fans since you're 15 years old. There you go. Exactly. I've got the same experiences. I'll never forget when I first heard AC/DC. Never forget that. It's a Spanish band called Mecano. Do you know Mecano? I love Mecano. I mean, all Spanish people do, but Mecano, for me, her voice is the most beautiful voice in all of music. I can't separate the first moment that I hear it, that sort of hazy memory that you have, very warm place. If you think about it when you go to bed and you want to curl up and be nice and warm, you recall certain memories. Those memories, I think, are really important. I had loads of them with Maradona. So that's it, basically. That's all I really wanted to say. I hope everyone's okay, is really the point of the whole exercise. Just take your time. I'm going to start today. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to go downstairs and carry on with music. But it has taken me until sort of roughly now, bizarrely, to just really process it. I haven't had a way. I've been watching hours of documentaries and just all the stuff and just reliving, reminiscing. Yeah, I'm just very grateful. You know, what a life, what an amazing experience. So yeah, you met you met La Torroja in the airport. That's amazing. When did you meet her? I would love to record her one day. I've thought about how I could possibly get in contact with her management to try and just give her a demo. I'd love to do a club track with her. Anything. It's one of the people in my dreamland. You know, if I could do anything, work with anyone. I love her voice so much. I think it's just the best. And the fact that it's Spanish as well is just gorgeous for me. So yeah, 2 years ago. Oh, great. That's awesome. Maybe she was on tour, just herself, maybe. That's cool. So anyway, I hope everyone's well. You know, it's December. It's the last month of this year. We've got exactly 1 month to go to, you know, take stock, decide what you want to do next year, and really do it. So I wanted to release my new song, Never Coming Down, on January 1st. It's going to be difficult because Spotify, if something goes wrong, there's going to be no one in the office. They're on holiday, right? In my head, I wanted to start January 1st with something released and out the door. But it's going to be probably more like the 6th or the 8th, which is okay. I still consider that the beginning of the year. And I'm going to go hard. And I encourage you guys, if you want to do something, start preparations now, take your Christmas break, take New Year's off, and then go. January 2nd, go. Back up all your data from last year. I always do that January 1st. Do your taxes, I always do that January 1st. And then start with everything January 2nd. They didn't let you take pictures? Yeah, no, I can believe that. Yeah, that's a shame. I really like her. I thought she was extremely talented, Ana Torroja. Very, very good. So Never Coming Down will come out, I hope, very, very soon. I've just finished the artwork for it. It's going to be conceptual, very interesting. I'm going to start next year with that idea. I've made my VIP merchandise, by the way, here. Nice t-shirt with the Lucky Cat logo on it. You can never have enough luck. Look at that. Isn't that nice? If you want these are on sale now. I'll put the link up later. You're very welcome to purchase them. Yeah, no, coming before Christmas, I think, as well, which would be good. And please do get your free starter packs as well. The link is on the top of my Instagram. Completely free. A bunch of stuff I've taken to the shrine up the road here to get blessed. It's the place where the Japanese Lucky Cat was originally designed. I live quite close to it, bizarrely, just completely coincidentally. And that's my logo. This is my cyber-looking Lucky Cat. So that's about it for today. Unless anyone has any questions, I know this pandemic. I know it's tough. It's complicated. Hopefully we're near the end. The vaccine's on its way. I mean, Japan. I worry for Japan with the Olympics coming up and how it's going to be rolled out. Is it going to be compulsory? You know, who gets it? I just worry about the rushing of certain things because of certain financial situations, and I just hope they get it right. You know, we're 8 months away from the beginning of the Olympics, if that's even possible to imagine. So I hope it goes well. Yeah, it's nice. It's good. I like it. I'm pretty happy with it. I've also made some hoodies. Hoodies are going to be black with like a white logo on the front, and this clever bit of writing on the back. It's kind of long. It looks very cool. And that'll be like a winter VIP pack. But yeah, I like this, and I feel the luck coming to me as well, so it's good. So yeah, that's about it, everyone. If music has become also important this year, I agree. Thank you for working on it too. You are inspiring. No, I hope, in my tiny little way, I hope I have been. But you guys have inspired me. You know, it's awesome to be able to talk like this to people that, you know, are all around the world, and be able to share something. Yeah, this was a little, I liked this. It's a little bit of an expensive option, but it's a nice touch, like a typical t-shirt. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, the sleeve writing. Good morning from Indonesia. Hi, honey. How you doing? This is good. I'm glad that everyone joined from South America today as well, especially. I hope this is a good time. It's 9 a.m. for me in Japan. I think it's kind of evening time in America, South America. I hope this is a good time. Then Asia as well. Tough for Europe probably, but I can't do, I just do another one for Europe time. I'm glad I got that out, I must say. I'm glad I got that out. I don't think anyone should suffer in silence. If you've got something you need to say, please do say it. Please find a way to get it out, you know? Love is not rational. It's complicated, it's hard, and you definitely need to work through it. So this has been my way. I haven't felt like this about a passing of an icon that I can remember, not to this level, in my life. I can't think of one where it's taken me a solid period of time. And I can't think of another one where it will happen to me, to be really, really honest with you. There'll be a few I'll be very sad to see, of course, but this Maradona one was for whatever combination of reasons, a pretty big one. I realise how grateful I am in a way that I didn't realise until last week. So I'm glad I could go through it. Special pandemic sleep schedules. Exactly, yeah. I think I've lost half a year of sleep this year. It's been quite bizarre. You can definitely chat with me later on IG. Absolutely. Kobe's death hit you hard, and it still does at random moments. I absolutely understand. Even if you've never met him, and I'm not a basketball person, I absolutely know, you know, everything about Kobe Bryant. I completely understand. I understand what he means for you if you're a fan of the Lakers. I understand what it means if you're from LA. I completely understand how that is, and the way it happened with his daughter. I mean, those things add up to this picture. You know, he was iconic, absolutely iconic. Yeah, I'm very sorry for you. I hope you're, you know, just take your time. You know how much he meant to you, and that's really important. And hopefully you can build and use his legacy for something positive for you. You know, I do kick-ups outside because of Maradona. I think because of remembering how he was in warm-ups and how extraordinarily happy he looked when he was doing it. I just wanted to replicate that. You know, I wanted to feel the same way, and I'm, you know, I can do a millionth of what he can, a millionth. That's how good he was. There's a really good, so Gary Lineker was saying the other day, there's a really interesting interview that he did. Maradona's just passed, and suddenly the camera's on him. What's your recollection of Maradona? And there was one time he played with him. There was like an exhibition match, and they're all in the dressing room. Gary Lineker's playing for Barcelona at the time, so he was probably 27, 28 years old, something like this. And he said Maradona's in the corner in the dressing room, and he's got his socks, and they're clumped up in a ball. And he's just doing kick-ups with the socks on his foot for like 5 minutes, just not dropping it. And everyone, all these really famous players, Michel Platini, Gary Lineker, they're all in there going, wow, my goodness me. And then the bell goes, time to go. He gets up, puts his socks on, puts his shoes on, walks out, goes to the line on the pitch, picks up the ball and starts doing kick-ups with the ball all the way to the centre circle. Okay? He gets to the centre circle and he kicks it right up in the air. And he just waits. And just watches it come down and he just kicks it again, right up in the air. And just waits and watches it come down. And he did it 13 times. 13 times in a row. And the ball didn't go, more than 3 paces away from centre. He didn't have to run for it. 13 times. And Gary Lineker said it was the most amazing thing he's ever seen anyone do on a football pitch was that. And that he went back to Barcelona the next day, told all the players, and they all had to go. They all tried to do it. They couldn't do it more than 3 times. And on the 3rd time, they were running to catch the ball. He was extraordinary with this football. I do find it amazing how humans love ball-shaped objects, you know, beach balls, footballs, rugby balls, golf balls, tennis balls. Even animals do. My cat loves the ball. I'll throw the ball, she'll go after it like a dog. I find it hilarious that we love these round spherical things. It's amazing, but we do. It's just, love is not, you know, logical. It's hard to understand, and you don't need to either. That's kind of the beautiful thing about it. You don't need to. It just washes through you, and you know it, and that's enough. And that's enough for me to sort of forgive Maradona, you know, for some of the stuff he may have done or may not have done. He has so much good to him. He only wanted the best for his country, for his family. Yeah. So anyway, yes, I understand how you felt about Kobe Bryant for sure. Keep healthy. Yes, you too. Absolutely. Stay healthy. Oh, hi, all. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you have a really good day. I have to go to another meeting, and then I'm going to start the day. I have a new song I have to start. It's not about Maradona, but I think the next one probably will be. Like I say, the title of I Dream in Football, I think is kind of cool for me right now, and it's kind of an overarching feeling I have. I just put my Christmas tree up yesterday, which I'm pretty happy about, so I'm all excited and in the mood. But I want to finish off 2 more tracks this year. One is for someone else, and one will probably be for me. And then I'm going to say it now. I may as well say it now, although it's a bit of a secret still, and it's also unconfirmed. But Kino and I did a demo the other day, and it's for a Japanese artist, or for a Japanese concept anyway. I think it's going to be picked up, and it's going to be used in an anime movie, a new Japanese anime movie. It's going to be a kind of like a retro samurai film. I don't know how big it is, but it looks like the team behind it is quite large. It's quite a big agency. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's exactly my brand, doing Japanese stuff, you know, anime, just a little bit of subtle Japanese sound in there, but basically, you know, international sound. Really happy about that. So just keep it secret, just for you guys to know. Hi, Sophia. I'm glad you joined right now, but we're about to finish. Thank you so much. I'll let you know more about that in due course. You know, just as you know, I was just saying, 6 years ago I was playing with Taylor Swift on stage, looking forward to Christmas. This year there's none of that. I haven't obviously played with anyone this year because it has all stopped. All of it, every single thing that I was going to do ended this year. So anyone who's going through that, and I'm sure, let's say 90% of you probably are, I completely understand. My advice is to try and pivot next year, try and find something else. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. It was clear that all of mine were in the entertainment basket, and once entertainment stopped, that was it. I had to really think about a new way, a new direction, new things, and I have. And so next year is going to be different. It's going to be a new way. But for anyone who's had that experience, I completely get it, and it will carry on at least half of next year, maybe all of next year. And something might happen this time next year again. You know, another flare up, a change in it. Something might happen. We need to start being a little bit more prepared and being ready to pivot quickly as much as we can. And I think that we need to look after each other, and we need governments to look after us a bit more than I think they are. It would be nice if we had a bit more support. To reduce it, like Maradona said, all I want is for my people to be happy and to have food. Kind of cool words. All right, everyone. I hope you have a great day and a great rest of the week. I'm really glad to be able to do this and just kind of get it out there. I have not said it before, and now I have. Really happy about that. So take care. See you very soon. Stay safe. And if you need any luck, get your free merchandise, okay? Take care. See you. Bye-bye. Toodaloo.